When were the... What schools...
Who decides what the next...
Where's that story?
Why they keep the loop?
What is this?
It's Curious City,
where WBEZ answers your questions
about Chicago, the region, and its people.
Hi, I'm Ollie Baranek, and welcome back to Curious City. Today's question was sent to us by a barkeep from Bucktown, and revolves around a particularly kooky part of Chicago's history, the Mickey Finn poisonings of 1918. Chris McGowan, who works at Floyd's Pub off of Oakley Avenue, overheard a friend discussing the Chicago legend with a regular at the bar, but was clueless as to what his friend meant. The question was, I heard about a scandal involving waiters poisoning cheap tippers, but that's about all. Can you tell me more about what happened? Well, Chris, this is the kind of question that will take us way back into Chicago's history, and help us to know its grittier side. Back in simpler times, specifically at the turn of the 19th century, liquor was plentiful in Chicago, and the sale of it a booming industry, especially among immigrant circles. With the unhindered distribution of liquor came crime, relatively quickly. One saloon owner, Michael Finn, commonly known as Mickey, ran a shady place in the Loop known as the Lone Star Saloon, where he had various prostitutes working as well. He would encourage these women to slip chloral hydrate, a relatively potent anesthetic, into various customers' drinks. After seducing these young men to follow them upstairs, the women would rob them of their money, then leave them in a back alley to wake up the next morning with no memory whatsoever. After 7 years of running this operation, one of Mickey's girls eventually tipped off the police, leading to his arrest in 1903. Sure enough, soon after this, the term Mickey Finn was coined to refer to any of these types of drinks used to incapacitate bargoers. Now, we'd like to think that after Finn's arrest, the practice he created would become relatively obsolete. However, just like how minor drug lords today scramble to claim business after the topple of a kingpin, chloral hydrate powder was soon distributed to other saloons and pubs across the city, where it spread like wildfire. The powder, which is today known to cause respiratory arrest, heart failure, and even death, was reportedly sold outside Waiters Union headquarters for 20 cents a packet. With this mishandling of such a potent powder came serious effects. Over 100 people were once supposedly poisoned at a University of Chicago banquet, with over 3 dropping dead from overdose. Soon, Mickey Finns were used not just for stealing from drunk patrons, but also as a form of deadly revenge. Which brings us to the final part of answering Chris's question, discovering just how waiters managed to poison so many customers and get away with it for so long. With Mickey Finn powder packets being sold by the dozens to waiters, it's not hard to see how easily the product could change hands so quickly, possibly even more than once. Soon, it would come into the possession of not just bartenders and the sketchy folk of Chicago, but basic waiters at restaurants as well, struggling to make ends meet. So when patrons from nearby swanky hotels would show up for drinks, have a good time, then leave without tipping, oftentimes more than once, waiters felt the need to take their anger out on these ungrateful customers. One small packet of the powder was all that was needed to cause gastrointestinal problems that would last hours and leave the drinker shaken for days. However, this ruse clearly couldn't last forever. When the Hotel Sherman finally noticed a suspicious number of customers returning sick at night, it decided to hire private detectives to collect evidence on what could be the case. Paper trails of payments for the drug, private letters written between waiters, and more eventually led to the Chicago District Attorney raiding the Waiters Union headquarters and taking over 100 waiters into custody for their crimes. And so, through swift action by the Chicago Police Department, another drug trade was stopped in Chicago. But while it was chloral hydrate in 1918, marijuana in the 1980s, and maybe even the heroin trade today, drug use continues to be a major problem for the city. So I wanted to thank Chris this week for helping me to better understand Chicago, not just its glitz and glamour, its skyscrapers and speakeasies, but the darker parts of it as well. While we may have come a long way from issues such as Mickey Finn's and Prohibition gang violence, issues that rocked the city, that doesn't necessarily mean we've solved the underlying themes that connect the crimes of yesteryear to those of today. It's up to us, as the people of the Windy City, to learn what we can of our past, to better understand how it connects to what troubles us both now and in the future. Reporting this week came from me, Ali Baranek. Thanks to Chris McGowan for asking this question, the Naperville North History Department, the Chicago Tribune Archives, and listeners like you, who make the research we do at Curious City possible. Thank you.